So I've done few, so like just group assignments, reports and stuff like that.
So group work, reports, essays, exams, presentations, that sort of thing.
Done lots. Group work, written reports, essays, tests.
Some assignments, some group work and some tests and so on.
I've done group assessments, personal reflection, mid-semester tests, an array.
Not too many in my course. It is a rather broad sort of course. The main assessments that we're doing at the moment is sort of like psychology write-ups for our psychology unit, and also our measurement and evaluation assignments. That's sort of the main ones that we've been doing at the moment.
Probably the reports coming back from St. Pat's. It's very just like, what's 1 + 1 = 2 sort of thing. So you're actually doing some research and stuff like that's probably the most difficult part of it. But once you get your head around it, it's actually straightforward and stuff like that.
Because with a group, you kind of have other people to sort of like help you out if you sort of like, tend to be struggling with your part. Where if it's an individual, you've only really got yourself and, you're sort of like relying on your research and hoping that what you find is, correct.
Probably the group work.
Why do you say that?
Just trying to find times where we're all available and just compiling the work.
Probably the exams, just because they've got the most pressure on them, especially in the first year when you have to pass them to pass.
What's the most challenging, I can tell you straight away, is group assessments. Certainly also for somebody who lives a little way away from the uni, and trying to work around everybody's classes, etc.
Assessment, I reckon feedback. Feedback immediately after someone does a presentation I find difficult because I prefer to go back and have a bit of a think about it first before I comment on it. I find that the hardest. The rest of the assessment, not too bad. Yeah.
For me personally, it was my measure and evaluation assignment, just because I didn't really come from a statistical or a maths sort of background. So using Excel to write up graphs and things like that has never really been a forte of mine. So I think, and also just trying to get my head around the sort of the peer-reviewed journal sort of systems, coming from, I haven't really studied much before this, they're trying to get around that sort of thing. That was probably the hardest point.
I just tend to think that each assignment that you complete is sort of like a step closer towards your degree, and that's what you're aiming for.
Well, a lot of the time emailing and texting's big, but also like creating groups in Facebook and stuff just so everyone can compile their work.
If you do the work during the semester, just keep up to date and everything goes pretty well. Yeah.
Take on more work, usually, and make sure that I delegate to everybody in the group.
Well, there's a lot of student support that you can get here. So if you need to chat to teachers, I had the opportunity of just sitting down with my sort of teacher, and she went through everything for me. So that was really helpful. So just to ask, I guess, if you're ever struggling and not leave it to the last minute. So